Today, we're going to explore this really beautiful idea from the physicist Richard Feynman. It's a way of seeing how everything, everything, from the stars way up there to life right here on Earth, is all connected by one fundamental set of rules. And believe it or not, it all starts with a simple glass of wine.
The whole universe is in a glass of wine. Now, what on earth could he mean by that? It sounds kind of poetic, right? Well, stick with me, because by the end of this, you won't just get it. You'll start to see the entire universe in pretty much everything you look at. So, to see how, we've got to start with the rules of the game.
To really get inside Feynman's head, we have to start where he did, with the science that he believed was the foundation for literally everything else.
And for Feynman, that science is, of course, physics. You can think of it as the ultimate rule book for reality. It's what natural philosophy grew into, that ancient quest to just understand how nature works. All the other sciences, as you're about to see, are basically just different ways of playing a game using the rules that physics lays out. Okay, so how do you get from these abstract laws of physics to something as incredibly complex and frankly messy as life itself? Well, Feynman shows us there's this really clear, logical path.
It's like a chain reaction of ideas. See, physics gives us the basic rules for how atoms behave. Then chemistry takes those rules and explains how the atoms get together to form molecules. Biochemistry then zooms in on the mind-bogglingly complex reactions those molecules have inside living things. And finally, biology studies the grand result of all of that, life. And this connection, it answers the biggest questions in chemistry. Why do some atoms stick together and others push apart? Why do chemical reactions work the way they do? The ultimate answer isn't really a chemistry answer. It's a physics answer. It all comes down to the bizarre but true laws of quantum mechanics.
But, and this is a huge but that Feynman always made, just because physics gives you the rule book, that does not mean the game is easy to play. Think about it. We all know the rules of chess, right? But can you predict what a grandmaster is going to do? No way. It's the same thing here. We know the fundamental rules, but predicting a complex chemical reaction, that's a whole other ballgame.
And what's so wild is how these chemical rules just keep building on each other. They give us these incredible little biological machines, the amino acids that fold into proteins, the enzymes that act like tiny little workers on an assembly line, and, of course, the DNA blueprint that tells everyone what their job is. It is all chemistry, which, remember, is just physics in disguise. And this all leads to what Feynman said was the most powerful idea in biology, that at the end of the day, every single thing life does, thinking, moving, breathing, growing, it's all just the result of this unbelievably complicated dance of atoms, all of them just following the simple laws of physics.
All right, so we've connected physics all the way up to life. But what about the really big picture? Let's zoom way, way out, from the microscopic cell to the entire cosmos, and see if the same rules still apply.
Just stop and think about how profound this is for a second. By looking at the light from stars that are trillions of miles away, we figured out that they are made of the exact same stuff we are: hydrogen, carbon, oxygen. The rules of physics aren't just for our little neighborhood, they're universal. The atoms in your hand were literally cooked inside a star.
And here's a totally wild paradox that comes out of that. Because the laws of physics are so universal, we actually have a better grip on the nuclear fusion happening inside the sun 93 million miles away than we do on the swirling, churning currents of liquid rock deep inside the Earth, right under our own feet.
And that brings us to the really humbling part. Because for all the amazing stuff we know, Feynman was always most excited about the vast ocean of things we don't know. The frontiers of science are just packed with these huge unanswered questions.
So take geology. We see the effects, right? We see the mountains. We feel the earthquakes. We have a theory that there are these big, slow-moving currents down in the mantle pushing the continents around. But what are the exact mechanics? Why do they flow the way they do? It's still a massive mystery.
Or what about psychology and the brain? If we're right that everything is atoms, then a memory has to be a physical change to your brain cells. But what kind of change? How is a neuron that's holding a new piece of information physically different from the one right next to it? We literally have no idea what a memory looks like at the molecular level. It's incredible.
And what's just fascinating is that a single, super hard problem in physics is what's holding back progress in a ton of these other fields. And that problem is turbulence, the chaos of swirling fluids. It's why we can't perfectly predict the weather, why we can't fully model the inside of the Earth, or even what happens right before a star explodes. It's this one nagging problem we just can't crack.
Okay, so after this whole journey, through everything we know and all the stuff we don't, let's come full circle. Let's go back to where we started and put all these pieces together.
Now, when we look at this quote, it feels different, doesn't it? It's not just some nice-sounding poetry anymore. It's actually a pretty literal, scientific statement. Let's really break it down.
Just look at the glass. You see physics everywhere. In the swirling liquid, the way the light bends and reflects. The glass itself? That's geology. It's just melted sand, a product of the Earth's rocks. The atoms that make up both the glass and the wine, well, that's astronomy. Every single one was forged in the heart of a star. The wine itself is pure biology, a result of yeast, fermentation, and enzymes. And the act of you seeing it, thinking about it, enjoying it, that's psychology, all happening inside your brain.
And that right there, that is the ultimate point of Feynman's idea. We're the ones who draw lines between the sciences. You know, we put them in different buildings at a university. But nature doesn't care about our departments. It's all just one big, seamless, interconnected reality, all running on the same basic operating system.
Once you start seeing the world this way, you can't unsee it. It lets you look at anything, a tree, your phone, a cup of coffee, and see all the layers of science that came together to make it. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. What story of the universe is being told by the stuff that's right there in front of you?